how do you build discipline from failing? I wanted to talk about this topic because while I was writing today, a lot of good points came up and I really wanted to share them with you guys and see what you guys thought about them. So firstly, why is failing and how is failing have anything to do with discipline? When you think about your day, most of us live in a pattern-based habitual day. We do the same things every day. We brush our teeth the same ways. We have conversations with people in the same ways, and we usually tell stories in the same ways. We spread butter the same way. Everything we do, we've been trained, or we've been training subconsciously our mind to do things in a specific pattern and way. I'm sure even when you're sitting in a specific way. When you adjust in a specific way. When you do anything in life, you've done it. If you've done it before, you've done it in a specific pattern. What is discipline? Discipline is doing the things you don't want to do and doing them like you love doing them. The things you hate doing, the things that you don't want to do, consistently, repeatedly doing them. So how do we build discipline? We need to know what habits we need to be doing every single day. Good habits versus bad habits, it's basically subjective. Actually, it's not even subjective. It's really objective, actually, because 90% of people, or 99.99% of people, will agree what is a bad habit versus a good habit. So there's not really any room for argument there. Smoking is a bad habit. Working out and resistance training is a good habit. There's zero room for argumentation. Like the 0.0001% of people that just want to say something or put their voice into it will argue, well, actually this and this and this and this and this. But at the end of the day, there's zero argumentation. So if you want to be happy and if you want to be healthy, you need to create healthy habits, good habits. How do you do that? You need discipline. How do you create discipline? You need to step outside of your comfort zone and do things you're not usually and normally doing in your habitual pattern of living. So back to the brushing of the teeth and the small habits. Why are we talking about that? Because these are the things that we can step outside of our natural patterns of living and start developing small steps towards uncomfortable growth. Very minor steps. Like instead of brushing your hand with your right hand, if you're right-handed, you brush it with your left hand. And it's gonna feel so weird to your mind, but that's growth because you're training your mind to operate in a different way. And it's not crazy growth, and it's not growth, but it's not crazy uncomfortable getting out of your comfort zone, but it's a minor step. And not a lot of us want or can right away just step into the deep end of uncomfortability. Like if you're normally waking up 10 minutes before work, rushing, stressing, you're not just gonna set an alarm for 6 and just go balls to the wall, I'm gonna do that. Because more likely than not, you're just gonna fail after a couple days. So how can you stick to the good habits that you want to build? You have to start applying them slowly. So once you've started tweaking your schedule and your routine a little bit, you've noticed that you can do it. You're proving to yourself, okay, I can make little uncomfortable changes, and you're ready for bigger ones. Because uncomfortable changes at the end of the day are hard to make. Like think about when you're making your breakfast, or you wake up early, you're in the middle of making your coffee, and your partner asks you, oh, can you help me with this? In your mind, you're like, fuck, I got to. But like, really, you're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to do this right now. Like, can you bother me at a later time? Because your mind subconsciously has been so used to doing this, and it just doesn't want to be interrupted. It wants to go through its pattern of the day without interruption. So back to doing the things, the small things, to get to the bigger things. After we've done the small things, then we can move up and step into a bigger thing. Maybe you are usually waking up before 10 minutes before work, and now you want to step into the big boy leagues. Now you want to wake up an hour and a half before work. You want to read. You want to maybe work out before work. You want to meditate. You want to just have a stressful, luxurious kind of morning where you're not rushing against time. You're slowly easing and moving through life instead of like stressing and, oh my God, I'm going to be late. Oh my gosh, this, that, whatever. And eventually, you'll be able to build through these habits. You're going to get a lot more comfortable, that you're going to start building disciplinary things that are going to be way out of your comfort zone, but you've already done the little things. You've proved yourself, okay, it's going to be fearful and like uncertain for a while, but then it just becomes gradually easier and easier. So you take up on a next step. You set your alarm, you start work at 8, so you set your alarm at 6. You get to the gym at like 6:30, and now you look like a total buffoon hitting a workout because you've never worked out or you've never moved weight, so you don't really know what you're doing, but at least you're trying. You're stepping out of that comfort zone because you're not usually normally doing this, because you fear what people are going to think. You fear your failures before you even done them. But then you realize they're not even that bad because you've done other things. So you keep this up consistently, and eventually the failures lead to more disciplinary actions because you failed on the little things and you just keep climbing, and you're not afraid to fail at the bigger things, the scarier things that are outside of your comfort zone, because you've already failed at the little things. And now you may be asking yourself, well, how does anything with this have to do with discipline? Discipline is actually really hard. Disciplining oneself, a lot of people aren't self-motivated. A lot of people need external motivation. So they need somebody else to like hold them by a leash and tell them, do this, wake up at this time. That's why coaches are really necessary and coaches are really beneficial. But at the end of the day, we still want a little bit of self-motivation and self-discipline. So with stacking the little failures, we're able to work to the big disciplinary things. Like, what's another one? Reading. Okay, I'm scared to take on the habit of reading every single day because I think I'm going to fail and I think I'm going to suck and I think eventually I'm going to let it drop and I'm going to waste all this time reading if in 2 weeks I'm not going to do it ever again. You need to prove yourself with the little things, the easy things, the less fearful things, to be able to work and conquer the big things that you want to do. All right, I'm going to stop drinking. Okay, how do I get to such a big disciplinary act of stopping drinking if you can barely, I don't know, maybe it's a weird thing, but barely brush your teeth 2 times a day? Some people might have a problem with that. If you conquer telling yourself, okay, I'm going to brush my teeth twice a day. You might be scared. You're like, damn, can I really do this? But then you eventually do it and you prove to yourself with the little habits that you're disciplined enough. Okay, you're going to do, you're setting yourself for another disciplinary thing. Okay, what else do I want in my life? What do I want to improve on? Just a small step. And then eventually, with the little disciplines conquered, you could take on huge disciplinary things to better your life. You're going to read every day. You're going to get up at the same time every day. You're going to work out at the same time every day. You're going to work out consistently. You're going to eat healthier. You're going to just pile up all these small things that are going to prove over time that you could do anything and accomplish anything. But it all starts with conquering your fear of failing. You will fail at the beginning, I promise you. You will have relapses. But the most important thing is staying consistent. And it just works out. Everything simply just falls into place, kind of. It's hard to believe how it really works, but with time, everything consistently compounds. And as long as you have your vision of where you want to be, where you see yourself, taking the small steps, setting small disciplinary actions will get you there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Share it with somebody that can find it useful. And subscribe for future videos. Peace.